Good evening. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park. I'm Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. We have a full quorum present with council members Mackenzie, Karn, Arnold, and Gay. And so at 7:33 p.m., subject to my continuing objections to Ordinance 2024-01 and the omnibus motion that the council passed that first week of January in 2024, I'll call the meeting to order. Our first item for business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think Chaplain Walker, yes, during invocation.
Of all holies, you who dwells in the very center of our hearts, stirs our minds with your energy and your creativity. We come together in this meeting to labor together to know what forms of life that we live in, to see if those forms can be changed, and in your name do so. We ask your help and your guidance so that we can be mindful that all persons here and abroad, everywhere, have value, and they too search for better ways of expressing their concerns for a better city. We praise and give you thanks for our mayor and city council persons. We ask that your love and insight be shared with them as they lead us in this meeting. May they not get caught up in adversity, but keep central in their minds what is the good for our city. We also thank you, O God, for your police chaplain, your police chief, fire chief, and all of those first responders that strive to make us safe and find comfort in our city. We also give thanks for all of those who are with us in this room, as well as who are with us in video. Help them to receive our honor and our gratitude, and to see their depths of who they are as persons, as well as servants for this community. Encourage all of us to work together with our elected officials and all who work for the City of College Park. May we leave this meeting with more understanding and appreciation of all those who participate and strive for the good of College Park and all those who live therein. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents of College Park. The Civility pledge is posted up on the screen. I'm going to read it. Please have an open mind and take in the words. The way we govern ourselves is often as important as the positions we take. Our collective decisions will be better when different reviews have had the opportunity to be fully vetted and considered. All people have the right to be treated with respect, courtesy, and openness. We value all input. We commit to conduct ourselves at all times with civility and courtesy to each other. Those of you electing to make comments this evening, please remember the pledge.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
My correction is just a spelling. Line 180, we're with the regular session. Are we looking at the regular?
Workshop.
Okay, no, okay. No, mine's for regular. For the February 3rd, correct?
We're on the workshop.
Okay.
All right.
Don't have mine.
No other discussion. We'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 4B, regular session minutes dated February 3rd, 2025.
Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion?
Yeah, my computer's low. So I'm a little disadvantaged right now. But what I have written down here is February 3rd, regular session, line 180. Grace Lunsford's name is not, it should be spelled Lunsford. And I'm locked out, so I can't see what that name was. It's incorrect. Lambert, okay. All right.
Agenda item 4C, workshop meeting minutes dated February 17th, 2025.
Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Councilmember Carr, did you vote?
This is,
This is a workshop meeting minutes from February 17th.
C, correct?
Yes, sir.
Aye.
All right, that is unanimous.
Item 4D, regular session meeting minutes dated February 17th, 2025.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion?
Yeah, line 1150, spelling of Keith Theme's name should be, it's just not Keith Theme. It should be Thieme. Name is not even down there as Theme, but again, I don't have the document in front of me at this moment, waiting on someone to bring it to me.
Line
Any
item
other-
1150.
Okay.
1150.
Yeah, there's something else on that line.
You have something else?
In my documents. 17th, regular minutes.
I'll have to check it out then. Okay. Then just strike that. It's wherever it's during the public comments. It may be from something else.
Okay.
Okay.
Any additional or any changes? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem, did you vote?
Abstain.
Okay, all right. So with Councilmembers Carn, Arnold, and Gay voting in favor, Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie abstains, the motion passes. All right, we're gonna meet some new employees and meet the All-Star of the Month, and then do one proclamation.
Good evening, Marion City Council. We have several employees who were hired last month. At this time, they're going to come forward and provide their name and the department that they're employed in, and then they're going to greet Marion City Council.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Lanice Lyons. I started last week as your new city planner. What else? And that's it. Thank you.
Hello, Mayor and Council. My name is Terry Jackson, and I am the new Finance Director.
Now for our All-Star of the Month. Yes. This employee joined the City of College Park March 2021 and has consistently been instrumental to our team. He brings dedication, professionalism, enthusiasm, and joy to the Recreation Department. He always has a smile and never complains. He always goes above and beyond with a positive attitude. Because of this, he is affectionately known as Chief Joy Officer. He actively contributes to the department initiatives and enhances workflow and customer service. He approaches every day with care and pride that doesn't go unnoticed. Please join me in congratulating our February All-Star of the Month, Ronald Kilpatrick, on his
Good evening, everyone. Just for those of you who did not hear, Mr. Howard's son had an accident in practice today, and they had to rush to the hospital. So it actually happened like within the last hour and a half. So we were just trying to see, but he's not able to make it. So I'm going to read this proclamation that we'll present to him later in the week. City of College Park Proclamation, recognizing Dwight Howard. Whereas Dwight Howard is one of the NBA's most charismatic and accomplished veteran players with a remarkable 19-year professional career that has made an undeniable global impact, both on and off the court. And whereas Dwight, a native of College Park, attended high school at Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy and entered the 2004 NBA draft, where he was selected as the first overall pick by the Orlando Magic, launching his illustrious career in the NBA. And whereas, as a Basketball Hall of Fame finalist, NBA champion, 8-time NBA All-Star, and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Dwight continues to set records, including holding the title for the most dunks in NBA history. And whereas Dwight has recently expanded his impact internationally as the co-owner of a professional basketball league in Asia with plans for global expansion, further solidifying his influence in the world of sports. And whereas, beyond his athletic achievements, Dwight is an entrepreneur, a filmmaker, a community leader, and a philanthropist. And through the Dwight D. Howard Foundation he established in 2004, he has been dedicated to providing scholarships, funding schools, and hosting basketball camps to uplift young athletes. And whereas Dwight's long-standing commitment to giving back has earned him numerous accolades, including being a Jefferson Awards for Public Service finalist and an NBA Cares Community Assist Award winning. And whereas Dwight has demonstrated his commitment to our community through initiatives such as Dwight Howard's 3-Point Santa Project, the Dwight Howard Elite Youth Camp, and our community givebacks, as well as the establishment of the Senior Technology Lab at the Brady Recreation Center. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the community of College Park, dedicate this day to Dwight Howard as a demonstration of our love and appreciation for his contributions and his unwavering dedication to our community. Given this third day of March 2025 in the city of College Park by the City Council and Mayor in honor of Dwight Howard for his remarkable achievements and his continued commitment to making a positive difference in the lives of others. Dwight Howard.
Agenda item 6, remarks of citizens. First speaker, Charles Green.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Councilman. Well, I just want to rise and speak an endorsement to this idea of a local DMO that was alluded to in the formal session by Karen Jemima. The concept of a regional DMO was a brilliant one, and it's worked out pretty well. I think we all agree. But as the partners have shifted over time, it looks like it's put us in a position of disadvantage where we're forking over a lot of the capital and we're not getting a lot of benefit. Our influence is less than the other partners in the region, and a lot of dollars get spent without our really equitable input. We have about 30 sounds like we could do better. In my opinion, looking at the website of the DMO, which I don't really have any criticism for, it just, we don't recognize it as a regional DMO. In that respect, my quick count was about 1 out of every 4 images or links on the site to the various pages refer to something in the region of Union City, Hapeville, and College Park. But three-quarters of those images are distant attractions like Truist Park, the Swan Coach House, the Speedway, and those are all fine. But that means direct references to College Park on about 9% of those images and those links into the events. So I think it's food to think about, and before the council moves forward in future deliberations about this, it would be a good idea to visit the website and see for yourself whether or not we're really representative for our investment, and whether a second investment, not to leave the DMO, but a second investment in one center, specifically the College Park, might be a very fruitful investment worth considering.
Demetrius Taylor.
This is my birthday, so I feel sick. Hi, everyone, all of our elected officials and everyone here. I'm Demetrius Taylor from Ward 2, and I'm usually not here on Mondays because I usually work, but hopefully my schedule changes sometime in the near future. I will see you more regularly. I do want to have a couple of comments because I know I can talk, and I usually have this written down in time for 3 minutes, but I'm going to just do it a little bit. But I want to echo the sentiments of an independent or localized DMO. We have a lot of resources here in College Park that we're not tapping into. And I know I'm one who's disappointed in the representation when I think College Park. When I think the Atlanta district, yes, it's cute, it's lovely, it's district. And all the time, as Charles said, it is district. So we see a lot of district. We don't necessarily see anything that is specific to College Park. College Park has a television station. Why are we not using that with the DMO so that they can say, we have television 2B23 to say, go to College Park. We have a lot of restaurants here in College Park that many of our citizens do not utilize. If you were to go and ask anyone, what did you do to satisfy yourself, to go out? They would tell you, I go eat in Hapeville, not College Park. Okay? So we have a disadvantage there. Something is missing with us championing College Park. Okay, I know I do my own podcast, the College Park Car Chronicles, and I even talk about it. Where is our nightlife? Where is all of our amenities that everybody talks about? We don't have that talk. We don't have that. We don't have that. And I really believe that if we have something locally and strategic that says College Park, I think that that will help us to brand ourselves. We spend all this money on branding. We have BIDA. When I was on BIDA, we had clearly College Park that was supposed to have been a brand. But do we have anything that says clearly College Park outside of T-shirts that barely get worn? And speaking of that, what are our colors? I know this may sound silly. What are the official colors of College Park? We got little pins. I see the pins that's red and white and gold or whatever. That's cute. I know Mayor Pro Tem, you use green and blue. Councilwoman Arnold, you using red, white, and blue for Ward 3. The Parks and Recs, they use it. They got different fonts and everything. What are our colors? Are we supposed to be unified or whatever to say we are a city? How are we being represented? I just want to know that. All right. And then my last thing, and I'm going to sit down because I usually write this out and I'll read this in the comments. Has anyone questioned the Hightower project yet? Michael Hightower we broke ground on that supposedly, and there is no development on that land.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas and Pam Aktaboski.
Yeah, I'm here. I was talking to the city manager.
Mr. Tommy,
I just want to let him know I'm gonna call him tomorrow. We're trying to set something up Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And, cause it's gonna rain tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
You too.
Sherry Godfrey.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Sherry Godfrey. I'd like to piggyback on what Demetrius said with the unified colors and branding. I think that's a great idea. Sometimes it's clearly College Park, sometimes it's the global icon, sometimes it's green and blue, so I actually think that would be great. I'm not in favor of us separating from the ATL district DMO. I think that there is strength in regional branding. There's reduced marketing power and budget constraints for us to take over our own DMO. There are operational challenges and expertise gaps, although credit to Ms. Jeremy and her previous resume experience, but you really need to be an expert in that industry to move that forward. I think it also creates competitive resources and industry support to have the ATL DMO as well as the College Park DMO works against us. It doesn't allow us to leverage our regional tourism strength. There's increased funding and resource allocation to start our own. And some things that we can do to strengthen our marketing with the current DMO that exists is cooperate with them, partner with them for immersive visitor experiences, technology-driven tourism enhancements like interactive kiosk or mobile apps. Anyway, it's just a list of reasons why we can utilize what we currently have and not reinvent the wheel starting something else. And I just wanted to comment briefly, the situation with the liquor stores, I noticed there's some ordinance item on the agenda tonight. Apparently there are some liquor stores in our town that are getting these monthly provisional licenses. Makes no sense to me. I mean, everyone who knows Godfrey's knows that we enjoy cocktails, but I realize everybody does not. So regardless of how you feel about the business of liquor stores, no business can count on the stability of their income and their investment in our community when they can't rely on annual licenses. Any business has annual license. So I don't understand why we're having liquor stores get these licenses each month. It does not make sense. And it doesn't encourage any other business to want to come to College Park where you're selling liquor, flowers, dress pants, whatever you're selling. If I'm a business owner and College Park is having me call up staff to get some 30-day license, I'm not going to come here. Thanks.
Thank you.
Karen Jeremy.
Hi again. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me during the workshop. And a couple of things came to mind and have come out. Again, I wanted to reiterate the fact that the DMO dollars are what they are. There would not be an additional cost that would be encumbered because the city only allocates a certain amount based on the hotel motel tax. So there would not be any additional expense that would be incurred by the city based on the DMO because the hotel motel tax is what it is, no more, no less. Also, I think that a cooperative strategy between a city-focused DMO and a collaborative regional DMO has been demonstrated successfully across the state with at least 14 to 15 different DMOs. And so I think that that strategy could successfully work here in College Park. We could leverage our assets for city-specific DMO marketing strategies and also work with the district to have them leverage those as well. It would not be a duplication of effort because the tourist audience would be very, very different. I love the idea that Ms. Godfrey just talked about with technology kiosks, and I, again, think that technology should be incorporated in all aspects of tourism and have encouraged the district as a board member to do those types of things. The district is looking at technology, and the city can do the same. Those are not in competition. It's not either and, it's really both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lisa Wheaton.
I'm Lisa Wheaton, and I'm part of the administrative staff in the gymnastics program. And I'm here to advocate for Michelle Johnson. Tanya LaPlanche is here with me, and Ashley Harris also. I've known Michelle for 40 years. We got that much history. She started in the gymnastics program as a gymnast. I knew her as a gymnast. I knew her when she grew up in the community. She went off to college, and then she came back. She came back to the city of College Park. And there's been a lot of changes, a lot of great things that have happened during that time. And there's a lot I could say, but I'm going to be brief. And us becoming the first all-black gymnastics team in the state of Georgia is an accomplishment. Michelle was there for that. Michelle supports that, and she celebrates it. I myself was the first black judge in the state of Georgia. She celebrates that. That was a part of something as we work together to make that program the best that it is, has happened. And one of the things to be really proud of, I'm sure Michelle is and I am too, is that more than 80% of our staff are gymnasts that grew up in our program. They come back. They want to be a part of what has been done in that program under Michelle's leadership. So that is something that has been a big accomplishment. She celebrates because in closing, Michelle is a leader. She's present, and she's supportive, and she's willing to do what's best for her staff and all the participants that we come across. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Tanya LaPlanche. I just wanted to mention that Michelle Johnson is a person of unwavering integrity, warmth, and kindness. I first met her 25 years ago when I brought my own children to start gymnastics classes. And over time, our relationship obviously has grown. So as a parent, a friend, and also as a colleague, I've had the privilege of witnessing her dedication, professionalism, and genuine care for others. She is the kind of person who leads by example, always dependable, always thoughtful, and always uplifting those around her. Whether in work or friendship, Michelle brings a spirit of collaboration, fairness, and positivity that makes her truly special.
Ashley Harris. Okay, you want to tell us a little bit? Oh, I can pull it down? Okay, here we go. Okay, really quickly, I'm also head coach currently. I'm going on my 5th consecutive year as the Tumbleweeds head coach. And that is also, I've been a gymnast at College Park since I was 7 years old. And I was actually founded by not only my former head coach, Coach Lisa Wheaton, but Michelle Johnson, who was also the gymnastics coordinator at the time. So they saw this little girl that needed a program. They put me in that program, and they have supported me throughout the time that I've been a part. And with that being said, I am now going on 5 years of of being the head coach of the College Park Tumbleweeds program. We have had our first accomplishment of many. We had our first 10, which you'll be seeing soon on our proclamation coming soon. Okay, it's already in the mail. Needless to say, with that being said, we've been supported. She's been a part of our journey. I have always felt supported. We relate with dance. I also did dance and gymnastics, and I think we have always correlated with that. And work ethic, leadership, drive, hard worker, motivating, embracing others, motivating the kids. We do it for the kids. We do it for the kids. We all started as kids. My teammates, a lot of the colleagues that I have as coaches and stuff, they grew up in the program with me. And if not with me, I got to also coach them, and now they came back. And that's because of the leadership that was brought to me that I saw, that I wanted to continue to instill within the youth program. And I think that I have done that by the others that were able to instill in me and what they have saw within a little child to just help me grow into being this beautiful, loving, caring, strong black woman. And I feel like it doesn't matter what you look like, it's what you instill into others. And that was instilled with me at a young age, and I'm able to do that for the youth right now. So at the end of the day, the journey never stops. The work doesn't ever stop. And I still see her endlessly working. And I think that it all comes from leadership, and you lead by example. And I think that that's exactly what I've been going and striving for when I am working with the children, is leading of what was taught onto me, how I was encouraged and appreciated and taught to love myself and encourage others. I think that's also being presented each and every day. So I'm thankful for what Michelle Johnson has done for the College Park Tumbleweeds community and our organization. We're building the girls up each and every day. So thank you, Michelle, and everyone else for your time.
Frida Arnold. Althea Morris.
My name is Althea Morris, and I live at 3573 Manchester Street, apartment C is in Hat. And I am here to speak on behalf of Michelle Johnson. Michelle has gone through a lot lately with Brother Muhammad. And as I watch him get up here week after week and just batter her, he said in February the 17th meeting that he was not the aggressor and he was not a bully, but clearly, and this is my opinion, clearly when he gets up here, he is very abrasive and very abusive. And my question is, when is enough enough? When do we stop letting him stand here and berate her and talk about her character and her qualifications? This has even escalated so much that it is involving law enforcement. And when it involves law enforcement, I would have thought that he would not still come into the mayor and council chambers speaking the same thing. Trash belongs in a trash can. It does not belong in a mayor and council chamber. The reason why there is no washer and dryer in this chamber is because we're not supposed to air dirty laundry here. It is not for that. This is for the business of College Park. We are College Parkians, our citizens. We are here to see that our city gets the best representation that it can get. And over the last few months, of course, College Park has not exactly been
praiseworthy in terms of being viewed on YouTube. You know, people sit back with a thing of popcorn now because it's like this is an ongoing saga. I know you guys. I know everybody except for Councilwoman Arnold. I don't know her. And I know that individually you guys are decent people. I do know that. And I hope that collectively you guys can come together, close ranks, and protect Ms. Johnson. She is a servant and she has given 20 plus years of her life to the city. I don't think that she deserves this type of treatment. I don't believe that she deserves it. And for her to have to endure this week after week after week, did you guys see that Brother Muhammad had his entire family here? He had kids coming to the podium talking about a woman that this child doesn't even know. That was sad to me. Maybe he was trying to make a point. I don't know. I don't have anything against Brother Muhammad. I just feel like since this has some litigation, he should not come here and be able to stand here and berate her. Everything always ends back up with Michelle Johnson. This is not about her qualifications. This is not about academics. This is not about a degree. This is not about her professionalism. This is plain old reverse discrimination. He doesn't like her simply because of the color of her skin. Period. He wanted something, he requested something that perhaps was new to, and instead of taking that no and walking off gracefully, maybe coming back and approaching it a different way, he decided that he would just be aggressive, just bombard her, just bombard the city, bombard you guys, just everywhere he goes, it's Michelle Johnson, it's Michelle Johnson against him. It's not. If somebody tells you no, then you should take that. And if it's not something that you want to take, then you can approach it from a different way. But us, we all know what discrimination looks like. Whether it's economic discrimination, whether it's racial discrimination, whether it is sexual orientation discrimination. Discrimination is discrimination. And it hurts. And I'm sure that it hurts. I have known Michelle for, like I said, 20 years. I have seen her with the babies starting out in the tumbleweeds. She loves our little skinny those little girls come out. She's loving. She knows them by name. And they grow up and you see them go all the way through the gymnastic program and they return because she poured love into them. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Chris Newell.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. Thank you for letting me speak today. I'm here to advocate for Michelle Johnson. I've been knowing her well over 20 years. When I came to the city in College Park, I met her son before I met her. Her son was a little boy. She was allowed her son to hang with me. A guy that she didn't really know, but she met me in the building once I was working there. The first time I saw Michelle was really quick. She ran by about going 100 miles an hour, trying to go help somebody, do something positive for somebody. Over the years, I built a serious relationship with her son. Her and her husband have allowed me to be a part of their son's life. No one that is doesn't like people because of what their color scheme is will allow their child to grow up with them. Her son has grew up with me since he was a little boy. He's over 20 now, and we have a tight relationship like this. Her and her husband allows me to be with their son. I have watched Michelle groom black girls, white girls, Asian girls, Chinese girls. I said, they leave the program, they come back with their kid. When their kid grows up, their kid comes back to the program. She has built a strong community in our department. We have a family here in the recreation department. We support each other, and she supports us. I don't believe in bullies. I don't believe in demeaning somebody just to get your agenda across. And Michelle is what College Park needs. She's for us. She's for us. She's for you. She means right. She don't want wrong. And she's for people.
Thank you.
Paulette Payne.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Paulette Payne, and I'm a proud member of the Recreation and Cultural Arts Department. Like my fellow team members, I would like to say a few words about our valiant leader, Michelle Johnson. When I joined the Recreation Department in 2017, Michelle, who at the time was the program coordinator of the highly successful Tumbleweeds Gymnastics program, was one of the first people to introduce themselves to me. In true Michelle Johnson fashion, she immediately offered to take me to lunch. That was my first impression of Michelle Johnson. And over the years, she has continued to be just as gracious, just as generous, and just as inviting. This is who she is at her core. And because of my proximity to her, I get to witness this each and every day. Whether she's talking with colleagues, offering best practices, taking time for residents who stop by to visit her or come to the center to work out, or meeting with her staff, or talking with people, believe it or not, experiencing homelessness who make their way to the center, seeking resources to change their circumstances. Michelle Johnson is community. She leads with heart, and she serves with integrity, always striving to do what's in the best interest of the city, her staff, and the citizens she serves. Her love and passion for what she does each and every day is palpable as she works to secure resources to expand programming, meets with vendors to enhance facilities and play spaces, or shares the good news about the great work that's happening in the city's Recreation and Cultural Arts Department. Under Michelle's leadership, my department is thriving. On a personal note, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but Michelle's husband makes a mean chili. I know because I've had it. She shared some with me, and it was dinner for at least 2 days. My mother, who was living at the time, fell in love with this chili. She told me it reminded her of her childhood. Shortly before my mom's passing in 2023, Michelle's chili came up in conversation, and my mom remembered it with fondness. You see, that's who Michelle Johnson is: care, warmth, and generosity. It is impactful. I am reminded now more than ever that family is not only biological, it's those who choose you and who you choose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, that is the end of the list for in-person public comment. I do have emailed public comments.
Does anyone else in the audience wish to speak?
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I don't necessarily need the microphone. I've been working with Recreation since 2002.
Could you introduce yourself?
Oh, I am so sorry. I just thought everyone knew me. I'm Tawana Jones. I go by Tia. I work at the Conley Recreation Center at the front desk. I'm the night shift supervisor. I have been with Recreation, then Recreation, now Recreation and Cultural Arts, since 2002. I started as day camp counselor, moving to day camp director,
And then I became the night shift supervisor in 2007. 2007. I met Michelle in 2002. Spunky, full of life, just lovable. And I met, like Chris said, and Chris and I came in at the same time, I met Tyler. She has always been the same, always supportive. Birthdays come, she doesn't just say happy birthday, she gives you a phone call. She gives you a text just to see how you're doing. She stops by the front office. Are you okay? You look like you're a little down. That's who Michelle is. So, the picture that is painted of her, it is not true. And I can vouch for that. And the Recreation and Cultural Arts team, because we're not just a staff, we're a team. And the team is only as good as their leader. And she and Lance are phenomenal at that. And I thank God for them. And we will continue to support her. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
Does anyone else who did not sign up wish to speak? Seeing none others, we'll go to email.
First public comment is from Michael Lindsay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Michael Lindsay. My address is 22040 Rugby Terrace. I want to speak about Destination Marketing Organization, or DMO, and how it hasn't worked for us. My understanding of what the DMO's function is to market our city as well as others to organizations, companies, and visitors, tourists alike, to the airport district. We give between 1.5 million and 2.5 million as of 2024 with little to show for it. A piece in a commercial on social media, YouTube, and coupon books they give out at the hotels and some businesses. College Park should be a destination, and it's looked at as a pass-through. This is because we don't have money out of the current airport DMO and create our own DMO here in the city of College Park. The same East Point is done. We are the only city in the district to have an arena and a convention center. Why are we not taking advantage of our own money to market what is in our city? What bothers me the most is that there is no transparency with the current DMO. People have come to council meetings and complained about $90,000 of allocated money being spent on a gazebo in front of City Hall, or $10,000 being spent on a Black History program. However, I haven't heard those same people complain about $2 million being sent to the DMO with no transparency of what happens with it. Where is the same outrage? The DMO receives approximately $400,000 from Hateville and approximately $160,000 from Union City, and they have gotten better promotion from the DMO than the city of College Park has. Why do we still need them to promote us? We can use that money to create jobs here for current residents just for marketing our city. Additionally, since the GICC is well over 15 years old and the arena is now 5 years old, they both should be in the second and third stages of marketing. Rather than looking at the DMO for marketing needs, a more sophisticated approach should be explored. Though on a larger scale, State Farm Arena, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the Georgia World Congress Center offer a master class on how it can be done. Relying on a 20-year-old model is not very progressive and limits our ability to reap the financial reward of these assets. Please give some consideration to this. It could change the city's media as well as the way the city physically looks. Thank you for your time and service. Next public comment is from Alexis McMillan. Michelle is a great boss and leader with a great heart, always thinking of others and so selfless. Next public comment is from Yvonne Walker. I hope this letter finds you all well. My name is Yvonne Walker, and I'm writing to you on behalf of my daughter, Lieutenant Shakia L. Walker, who was a dedicated member of the College Park Police Department. She lost her battle with cancer on her birthday, January 16, 2024. During her years with the department, Lieutenant Shakia L. Walker made significant contributions through her dedication, service, and unwavering commitment to the community. Her efforts have left a lasting impact on those who served and protected. In recognition of her contributions, I kindly propose that a street, road, or park be named in her honor. This gesture would be a meaningful tribute to her legacy and the positive impact she had on our community. Thank you for considering this request, and I am more than happy to provide any further information or support needed. See attached proposal request for your reference. Next public comment is from Layla Constable. Good evening. I'm honored to write this letter in recognition of Michelle Johnson, a truly remarkable mentor who has played a significant role in shaping my professional journey. From the moment I had the privilege of working with Michelle, she has continuously inspired and guided me, pushing me to expand my knowledge, challenge my perspectives, and grow in ways I never imagined. Michelle's ability to think outside the box and encourage others to do the same has had profound impact on my career. She has taught me to take initiative, embrace challenges, and pursue my goals with confidence and determination. Her unwavering support and belief in my potential has given me the motivation to strive for excellence and never settle for less than my best. Beyond her professional expertise, Michelle possesses a kind and loving heart. I take immense pride in having the opportunity to learn from Michelle Johnson. She's not only a mentor, but also a role model who exemplifies dedication, compassion, and excellence in everything she does. I am truly thankful for her guidance. I know that her impact on my career and personal growth will last a lifetime. Next comment is from Elizabeth Lester. I would like to comment on 2 items this evening. First, the city needs to do better with making sure that the agenda and packet are available before the day of the meeting. Residents who have full-time jobs have barely any time to contact their council members for questions or feedback on various items on the agenda, given the delayed posting this week. Second, I am very concerned about the proposed ordinance amendment, particularly in the view of the delayed posting of the agenda. The proposal seems to give elected officials too much power and influence on who can operate a business in the city. If there is no expectation for business owners to be able to renew their licenses year to year when they continue to operate within the law and they have no violations that would otherwise suggest they shouldn't have a license, this seems to give the council the ability not to renew a license simply because they don't like the owner or the business. This will actually discourage new businesses from coming to the city, as there is no certainty that they will be able to renew their license. Businesses need predictability. This would destroy it. At a minimum, I encourage the council to table this matter so that it can be more fully discussed during a workshop session, and so that existing business owners in the city have an opportunity to provide feedback before it is voted on. Thank you, Elizabeth Lester. Next public comment, Moses James. Dear Mayor and Council, I've sent 4 emails on this subject that have fallen on deaf ears. Tonight I am submitting it through public comment so I can sit at home and watch you listen. This is now our 4th meeting since incorrect financial information was presented to the public, and still there has been no clarification, correction, or acknowledgement or official acknowledgement. Nearly a month has passed since we learned that we are in a deficit halfway through our fiscal year, yet no effort has been made to explain how this happened, why it happened, or what steps will be taken to ensure accuracy and transparency moving forward. For weeks, I've attempted to get answers through the appropriate channels, yet my concerns have met with silence. February 7th, initial email on this matter, no response. February 11th, follow-up email, no response. February 12th, personal email to my representative, Councilwoman McKenzie. She responded initially, but when asked if she would seek clarification, there was no further response. 6 months into the fiscal year, the information presented to the public was not just misleading, it was completely accurate. A $6.6 million surplus reported on Monday suddenly turned into a $4.5 million deficit less than 72 hours later. Despite this, not a single minute has been dedicated to addressing this issue. At this point, what the community needs is a clear and public display of where we stand financially. We are now 8 months into this fiscal budget, and it appears we do not have an accurate understanding of where we are with our money. This is not just an internal concern. This affects every resident, every taxpayer, and every city service. The residents of College Park deserve accountability and transparency. Continued silence on this matter only deepens concerns. I challenge each of you to speak on this during your comments at the end of the meeting to show the community that our financial stability matters. Will you publicly acknowledge this issue and commit to providing an accurate financial update? We will be waiting for your response. With bated breath, Moses James IV. And that is all for public comment.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Next agenda item, public hearing. We have no public hearing. Item 8 is consent agenda.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Regular business, item 9A, consideration on and action of a request for a special event permit for Atlanta Airport District to host the Spin Event District to be held on May 4th, 2025 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. This item is being requested by City Clerk Kelly Bugner. This event is to be held in wards 1 and 3.
Is there a motion?
Moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Agenda item 9B, consideration of an action on a request from the Grady Health Foundation to host Rules of the Road fundraiser bike ride on April 26, 2025 from 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. A portion of the bike course is within the City of College Park city limits. This event is to be held in wards 1, 2, and 3. This item is requested by City Clerk Kelly Bogner.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Agenda item 9C, consideration of an action on a request regarding amended licenses and permitting ordinances.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 10, City Attorney's Report.
Mayor and Council, what I'd like to note is that on the last agenda item we just passed as it relates to city licenses, this is essentially a codification of what state law already provides. I heard some people come up and they misrepresented what we're doing. What we're essentially saying is that nobody is automatically grandfathered. A lot of times we update our code, the ordinance changes, through the wisdom of the council, we create some new requirements. And people don't want to comply with a new requirement, so, well, I'm grandfathered because I had a license last year. What we're saying essentially is what state law says, and there's enough case law that could fill this room where our appellate courts have said that the fact that you got a license last year does not automatically entitle you to a new license. You have to apply again, pay a new fee. If there are new requirements, you have to comply with the new requirements. Now, we did this to put the public on notice of that so that we don't always hear the incorrect argument that I'm grandfathered when we want to make clear that, no, you're not grandfathered, you have to comply. Now, it starts with unless otherwise explicitly provided or stated in this code. There are certain instances where people are grandfathered. For instance, if you have a house and we change the side yard setback from 20 feet to 10 feet, well, we don't expect you to move your house. You're grandfathered. So there are certain circumstances where you are that are set forth in our code. But if we don't give you a specific provision that says you have a vested right or that you're somehow grandfathered, we want to make clear to the public that you're not. Each year is a new year. You have to apply again. You have to comply with the new requirements, pay the money, and you may or may not get a license based on the application of the applicable criteria. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next agenda item, City Manager's Report.
Just a brief commendation for the police department and public works. Lately, we've been encountering, homelessness and camps being, put in the different parts of the city. We clean one place up, and next thing they, move to another section. So, police department, thank you, and also public works been going around cleaning. 2-3 dump truck loads of stuff. And one thing that happened today, the individual that was, sought out today had a warrant. Had a warrant on him. So, I like to commend the Chief and Public Works for the job well done. And I'm not the only one finding them now. Now, I thank you all for it. Yeah.
Dr. Adair, a question on that. Where did Public Works clean? Where were they cleaning?
We were over there. Go ahead.
The one that we located today was near Phillips Park, right off of Roosevelt in the wood line.
Because I was my understanding that there was some cleaning that was going on. It was all on city property though?
Yes.
Public Works was cleaning up?
Yes.
Homelessness, we can leave all the trash there. We have to clean it up.
But it was all on public property and not private?
To my knowledge, it's city property.
It's city property.
It's city property.
Every location that we've been to the last 2 weeks have been city property that we found encampments.
Flint River,
Columbia,
6 West,
Columbia. We
mean,
had one right off of Roosevelt on the bridge, and then when we went back to make sure that they didn't circle back and meet with sanitation to clean up all the debris and things that they had there, we located another one right beyond the bridge. So everyone that we've been involved with have been in city property.
Thank you. And let me follow up on the public comment, because I think it's my turn now. So when will we get a finance update, Dr. Adediran? Well, a finance update. Terry?
I'll work with Terry, and probably the next council meeting, that'll be provided. And the discrepancies were sent to, all council members.
Right.
So, it was sent to y'all. And third quarter, a presentation will be made, when third quarter comes. But the discrepancy was the electrical billing that was in the report. And that was sent to mayor and council. So y'all had the discrepancy.
Okay.
And it wasn't something, that was published to everybody, was sent to your mayor and council. This was what we found out. So, the third quarter, when at the end of the third quarter, I'll work with Terry and we'll make a presentation at the end of third quarter.
Okay, so the third quarter, let's see. So we'll see it in April?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And has the audit been completed?
It's still been worked on, ma'am. And that's what we've been focusing on. And the gentleman he will, update mayor and council where we are.
Do we have, and the last I heard that we had a expected completion date of the end of February. So do we have an expectation of when?
I don't know who told you February. I know I didn't say February. What my last statement is they're working on it. Terry, can you enlighten?
I think the auditors told us that.
The auditors, yes.
Hello, Mayor and Council. The audit is still in progress. We're going through, working with the new auditor. We're still providing them with some PBC list items that they've requested to see. So we anticipate that hopefully by the end of March this month, we'll complete the audit.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so had another opportunity Congresswoman McBath came down to this part of her district a couple of weeks ago, and I went up to her office 2 weeks ago, I believe, to hear a little bit more about what's happening on the federal landscape, because obviously that is an ever-changing situation, and we want to make sure that we are working in tandem with our federal partners, and her entire staff was so gracious. She's going to really pour in to this part of her district because it's a new part of her district. So she is learning more about us, and her staff is getting more entrenched in what is happening in this area. So looking forward to continuing that relationship. Also had an opportunity to discuss our grant through the Atlanta Regional Commission that we received in the previous administration that is frozen right now, and we sort of huddled up with Senator Ossoff's office to talk a little bit more about how we approach freeing up those funds, because we want to make sure that the Flint River Trail pathway that will come off of the Beltline and go all the way into Clayton County is a reality for the entire region, because we work better when we work together. And so we had ARC, East Point, Hapeville, obviously us in College Park. We had everybody on the call. We had Aerotropolis on the call to talk about how we strategize and how we position ourselves to make sure that our story gets told. One of the things at the South Metro Development Outlook, when we had an opportunity to do a panel about this particular project, the Flint River project, was that Landry Murkison, who is the deputy COO of Clayton County, talked about Southern Regional Medical Center and how 9 to 10 times a year, because of flooding at the Flint River, the hospital is inaccessible. We talk all the time in our region about how healthcare makes a difference, how access to healthcare makes a difference. And this project, the $60+ million, can make a difference in access for people and improve health outcomes, because if you can't get to the hospital, you can't get treatment. So we are working tirelessly to try to free up those federal funds, and we've gotten commitments from our federal partners to try to keep on working on that. We had similar discussions with the National League of Cities, and I know that some of my colleagues will be joining me for the Congressional City Conference later on, starting this weekend, and looking forward to that conference, because we will have the opportunity to engage with several agency heads to help us navigate the new normal. And even though that is, sometimes it's changing by the day and sometimes it's changing by the hour, we've got to make sure that we continue to deliver for our community. I want to thank my colleagues. I think we had a very successful retreat, and we were able to talk about some issues. I think I appreciate your understanding, because I was working late on Friday, and those things happen. And I appreciate your graciousness in allowing me to leave on Saturday evening to accept an award and engage with our amazing female mayors who do so many great things here. And but one of the things that we should be discussing at our next meeting is a different approach to workshop. We talked about the idea of having that in a less restrictive setting to really hammer down on some of the issues. And there was some receptiveness about that conversation, and I'm hopeful that we can find some common ground on that. And I want to thank Amber Batchelor, who was our facilitator, and Mr. Crane, who came in towards the end of Sunday and helped us hone in on some issues as we were hammering things out as a group. Speaking of healthcare, I was talking about it earlier, Grady EMS was the guest at the South Fulton Municipal Association last week in Chattahoochee Hills. I want to thank Mayor Reed and his entire team for hosting us. But they are the ones who are providing our EMS coverage, and they have offered to allow us to go on ride-alongs, and I've already reached out to get an idea and see how that really works. One of the things that was fascinating to me was that Grady actually, to operate Grady, it's $5.5 million a day. It's amazing. It's just a staggering number. We had some special guests in College Park last week. We had Mayor Carlos Greer from Locust Grove, Mayor Vince Williams from Union City, Mayor Carlos Duffy from Jackson, and Mayor Michael Owens from Mableton, who joined together at the McKenzie Office Suites. Last year, I was there with 6 other Black female mayors, and this year it was the Black male edition, and they were amazing. Just absolutely amazing. They shared their insights, they shared their humanity, they shared everything that makes them so incredibly special and wonderful leaders. And I want to thank all of them for their time. I want to thank Ricky McKenzie for hosting the event again. And I want to send major congratulations. Mayor Williams and I got on the phone to congratulate Layla Gray. You heard a little bit about her accomplishment earlier in the evening when we were talking about the tumbleweeds. But Layla is the first gymnast in the history of the tumbleweeds, in the nearly 5-decade history of the tumbleweeds, to score a perfect 10. She did it on the uneven bars, and I believe that she is going to have more flowers coming her way. I mentioned it to the folks who do SOFU magazine, so I think she might get a bit of a feature there. And I do believe that she might have a proclamation coming from this body in the near future. So I did want to talk a little bit about some of the individual priorities that we talked about at our retreat, because I've brought this home before, but we really need to focus in on making sure that we are maximizing our opportunities with our municipal option sales tax money. We all know the amazing work that our employees do day in and day out. And one of the things that we could do, we could replace our aging and obsolete valves. When we have water main breaks, there is valuable time that passes where there is water shooting out of places because we can't turn off the valves in time. Sometimes they aren't moving and they have to go to another intersection to cut things off. But my goal is that we're not just doing emergency projects like you saw in our consent agenda, that we have a plan, that we execute on that plan, and you see that working for this city. Now, replacing valves in our water infrastructure is not the flashiest thing, but it's some of the work that will get us down the line and make sure that the quality of life in College Park is top-notch for years to come. And I also think for our employees that we will better position them when they don't have to work as hard to even turn off a valve. But as we enter into budget season and talking about our employees, they do amazing work day in and day out. So I will start now that inflation year over year is 3%. I think the least that we can do is give our employees a 5% raise. We are in a space where we have contractors pushing close to $10,000 a month, and we have part-timers making $25 an hour. We can do better by our employees, and we should make sure that we are doing so, because none of us put out the fires. None of us fix the water mains. We have to make sure that the people who are doing the work day in and day out are fairly and adequately compensated, especially in the environment that we're in, and have the means to support their families. So the employees who have stuck with us need to know that we've got their back. We are 8 months through the fiscal year, and while we can't quite put a finger on where we are financially, we're always able to make things work. We need to make things work on behalf of our staff. And speaking of our staff again, I want to express my sincere condolences to the family of firefighter Renard Neal. We lost him a couple of weeks ago, and I want to extend my condolences not only to his family by blood, but his College Park family, his firefighter family. There's a service on Sunday morning at the GICC, and I hope that everyone will turn out to show his family exactly what he means to this community. Our firefighters are our heroes. Our police officers are our heroes. The service that they do on behalf of this city is unparalleled. And when they are in need, and I will tell you that our firefighters are in need right now, this is the closest it's hit to home. And we have an opportunity to wrap our arms around them, show them how much we care. And I hope that you will be there on Sunday morning to show your support. That's all I have.
I was waiting to be acknowledged. I just wanted to say something before you play the tape. I thought I was going to be acknowledged. First of all, I want to just acknowledge the presence of Jordana Arias. I know I messed up your last name, but I just called her Jordana. She is from Fulton County. She works in government relations. We want to thank you for joining us at this meeting, and just really looking forward to some of the things, the ways that we're looking at Fulton County continuing to be involved in the city of College Park. Thank you for coming to our meeting, and thank you for the partnership. I also want to acknowledge one more young lady before we play the video, because it's not in there, and it's Women's International History Month. And Dr. Marjorie Dent, an amazing young lady. I met her when I first got here to the city of College Park, and she became one of our first chaplains. And I was in graduate school working on my master's in divinity at the time. And she wasn't Dr. Dent, she was Master's of Divinity Dent. And we got to know each other very, very well. And that young lady went back to school and got her doctorate degree on me. And not only did she do that, she's working on another one. And on March 9th, she will be 85 years old. So I would just like for everybody to give a round of applause. And if you're at home today, y'all ought to say, thank you, Dr. Chaplain Marjorie Dent. She's holding it down for all of us. She had to go home. You know, you never know how long we're going to be here. I guess if she knew we were going to get out possibly by 9:30, she would have stayed. But happy birthday, Dr. Dent. And I won't be here on your birthday, but we'll celebrate when I get back. Now I'm ready for you to roll.
This is Mayor Pro Tem Jamel McKenzie with my March 3rd report. Happy Ramadan. The Muslim holiday of Ramadan began on February 28th and will last until March 29th. During this month-long observance, there is a period of introspection, communal prayer, and reading of the Quran. March is also International Women's History Month, and for 2025, the theme is Moving Forward Together, spotlighting women, educating and inspiring generations. And I thought, what better time than now to highlight some of our Ward 1 women who are doing amazing things, starting with Chef Robin Lewis, who was featured on Good Day Atlanta just last week, sharing a taste of her mouth-watering, delectable cuisine. Chef Robin is the owner of the R District, which is a personal chef and culinary concierge firm based in Atlanta. The R District is known for using only high-quality, organic, fresh ingredients. And my second shout out is to Ms. Holly Rodriguez, who is the owner of Sugar's Urban Farm. And she is the creator and the driving force behind our new senior technology lab and gardens. The lab, which will be equipped with 10 new laptops, is designed to help our seniors navigate modern technology and software, providing them with essential skills for everyday life. And our seniors will also have the opportunity to take in-depth courses on emerging technologies, from mastering new phones to utilizing virtual meetings and helping them stay connected, while also having the opportunity to grow and harvest their own fresh produce. And now to see what I've been up to from February 18th through the 28th. On February 20th, Jeff, Reggie, and I headed to New Jersey to celebrate my father, Dr. James Spencer's 91st birthday, which was actually on the 21st. It was a blessing to spend time with my dad, even though it was only for a day, because on the 21st, I had to head back to Atlanta to attend our city retreat. We had a great facilitator at the retreat, and we covered quite a bit of ground and information that I'm looking forward to all of us in the governing body implementing. And on February 24th, we held our soft opening for our new senior technology lab at the Brady Center. And it was great to see so many of our seniors and our special guests, Dwight Howard and his lovely wife, Amy Luciani. Last week, I met with a team of local historians, journalists, and filmmakers to begin our newest project that will feature the history of College Park. We are both enthusiastic and excited. Much more to come. It was an honor to represent the city of College Park at Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones's Black History Reception on the 27th, which was hosted by Senators Hal Byrne and Anna Bertarte. Engaging with leaders from various sectors not only allows us to exchange ideas and best practices, but it also helps us to create a stronger, more resilient College Park, one where every resident feels valued and empowered. Last Friday, I met with members of FOA, Ms. Sarah Dilla, and Georgia State University graduate students and city staff to discuss historical events and markers that will be placed throughout 6 West. And you are invited to join us on Thursday, March 13th at 5:30 as we cut the ribbon to display our historical markers. On March 5th, Alpha South is bringing 100 years of excellence to College Park for their centennial conference at the GICC. And as a part of the celebration, don't miss the HBCU Fair and the Ricky Smiley Live Show. On Friday, March 7th, we're holding our second Community Thrive Give Back with Food for the City and several other organizations at the Keith James Auditorium. We will be sharing food, clothing, beds, shoes, and lots of love. Also, join us for our first family movie night with the Granville Group at the Keith James Auditorium on March 15th. And last, save the date. On March 29th, we're going to hold our Ward 1 community meeting at 10, and then at 2 o'clock, we'll hold the grand opening of our Senior Tech Lab and Gardens. Lots of fantastic things are happening. This is your Mayor Pro Tem, Jamel McKenzie, and we are building College Park better. Let's end tonight's report with a brief recap from our Senior Tech Lab. Have an amazing week.
Today, this is where I grew up, College Park. I have fun here with the 106 Charles Circle, Cotton Road, and everywhere I go, that's the street I think about.
Don't know anything about me. If you say you want to do something for somebody in College Park, and if it starts with the seniors or young people, I'm saying yes before you can get the words out your mouth.
Councilmember Carn?
All right, thank you all.
All right, great update.
Five words.
A couple of things I've got. City Manager, on Sullivan Road, the radar speed sign, it still has that light out. One of the digits has been out for about 9 months now. So if we could get on that and get that repaired, again, as soon as possible. I've asked maybe 3 or 4 times up here, so we want to make sure that we fix that radar speed sign along Sullivan Road. They're going towards the airport and the old convention center. I wanted to find out about the street sweeper. I understand we've got one that's operational. There's several streets that I want to see covered. I don't know how often we run that thing. Well, Herschel Road is definitely in need. There are a couple other streets that we want to try to hit and take care of. So I follow up with you on some of the areas we need to catch that probably haven't been caught in a while. So we want to make sure that we cover some of those streets. In the gutter, there's a lot of the gravel and stuff, even from when we put down in some of these streets. So we want to make sure we cover that and take care of that as best as we can. Piggybacking off of the mayor's comments, the most projects, it's very important that we exhaust all of those most funds. I do have a project that is water and sewer that needs to be covered as well. A couple of them that I wanted to follow up with you on, City Manager. A couple of them we talked around, but we want to get down to it and make sure we exhaust those funds. We don't want to leave any on the table, obviously. That goes without saying. I was going to speak on our city retreat. I think it was a very successful retreat, probably one of the most successful that I've attended over the years. Again, Mayor, thank you for participating, and you were right. We work better when we work together, as you said, and I think this year is a turning point where we're going to be working together more than ever to uplift this city as a team, and that's something that we all doubled our commitment to over that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It went very, very well, and I just want to thank City Manager for helping making that happen. City Clerk, Ms. Kelly, thank you for your attendance. I think it went very well. City Manager in particularly, we want to thank you. You know, a lot of times you see a lot of different things and sides of different folks in different settings, which is a good thing, as you get to know how well-rounded some of our folks are and our staff are, and this team is. City Manager in particular, you have got a tremendous set of daily tasks set before you that every waking hour, just about of every waking day. And I don't think people really realize the enormity of what you hold on your shoulders in a given day. I don't think there is anyone in this city as busy as Dr. Emmanuel is. I don't even think there's competition or comparison to the city workload that Dr. E is responsible for. So I just want to give you encouragement. I want to let you know how much we all support you. I want to let you know how much we all count on you and need you. Last year, from last year of March 24 to this year of March 24, is a textbook example of how quickly someone can come in, right the ship, and turn things around. We're almost back up to full staff department heads. Our budget is looking stronger. We've lowered property taxes while increased city services for residents. I think we're moving forward, and we're making progress. That takes a good head coach, as well as a good coordinator, city attorney, as well, and all of these department heads working hard and rolling up their sleeves and getting the work done. One thing I do want to do is, when this audit is completed, Mr. Jackson, welcome aboard. Glad to have you aboard. So at the end of March, if the audit is completed, we do want to, let's explain the budget report concerns from February 3rd, which does predate you, because there were some discrepancies, and we want to make sure that we make it clear to residents that, there's no monkey business going on with their tax dollars. So we just want to straighten out those nits and make sure that that's clear in terms of transparency. So a couple other things. I was honored to join the board of We Be Health. This is a new board in Metro Atlanta that serves our most vulnerable seniors. It's a great organization. I've joined several of our mayors through the region who I served with as county commissioner and served with when they were city council members before they became mayors as well. Mayor Williams and Mayor Ingram, and we look forward to working with their many programs. The PACE program in particular is a program for all-inclusive care for the elderly. This is a medical advocacy group with federal funding, and they still have their federal funding intact. I'm going to say it again. They provide medical care, prescriptions delivered to your home with no copays, home care, clinical care and personal assistance in your own home, social engagement, activities and games in their centers, care coordination, dental, vision, and hearing, exercise, physical and occupational therapy. These services are for some of our most vulnerable citizens, again, for medically complex situations, average age of 80 or over, with limited social capital. So this is a specialty organization that's going to do some special services for some of our residents most in need. So we're going to work at directing some of those services to those who need it the most. So we're going to be rolling out that as the spring comes into effect. I want to touch on the retreat as my last thing in terms of some of the things we did come to a consensus on. And I want the residents to know that we made tremendous progress at the retreat. So there were some changes to some policies that there was a consensus on that we're going to be looking at rolling out here very, very soon. And I wanted to speak on them for the record. One was with the city clerk, as well as communications, following up on action items from public comment. That is something very important. We initiated it, I think, a year and a half ago or so, but we have to reconstitute that and redevelop that where it's efficient. We have meetings on Monday. I think there is no reason, city manager, why those answers to those questions that are answerable can be answered on Friday. For instance, today is Monday. We had our council meeting. By Friday, we want those questions addressed on our city website, as well as in the link to the newsletter. Number two was instituting mobile workshops, roundtable style, in various places. Mobile workshops for our workshops, getting away from City Hall to have discussions in other parts of our city. Each of our wards have dynamic venues and places where we want to engage the public to broaden our scope of awareness, to broaden our scope of facilities, to broaden our scope of diversity in this community. So I think that's very important. We said we were going to look at starting that possibly on March 17th, or maybe, city manager, we organized that to maybe start it on first meeting in April. I know we got a lot of stuff that that's on our laundry list that everybody's trying to get done and get finished. So I want to make sure we commit to that. The third thing was regarding public comments. And folks, I have always said and always been the foremost advocate that the public comment segment of our meeting is undoubtedly the most important part of our meeting, because that's where we hear from the folks that pay the freight. And that's the tax-paying public. But with public comments, there has to be some decorum, and we want to make sure we keep things good and fair within the public square, so to speak. And we used to do things this way with public comments. When someone comes up and has a public comment, we want to make sure that they're directing those public comments to this body here and not to the audience or not to personal situations within the audience. So public comments are directed to the elected officials that you have elected to represent this city. We want to direct the public comments towards us, and we want to make sure that we keep the direction up here and not at odds with someone in the audience. And we've always done that over the years. Jack used to make it a point when someone did have an argument with someone out there, he'd say, you keep these public comments up here with us where they belong. You're the citizen, and you've elected us to represent you and address those problems. So we want to keep the public comments directed up here only. Last thing I will say is I don't think it's a good idea to encourage or allow public comments on pending litigation issues. Pending litigation issues, I think that's very important. Now, you know, the First Amendment applies to people that some like, and it applies to people that some don't like. So that's just part of the public disclosure in any open body and any type of government form. Now, with that being said, we do not want public comments regarding a situation that is in litigation. And City Attorney spoke on this, and I agree that it's probably not a good idea to accommodate public comments involving city employees that are in the courts, because this could inadvertently pull us into and expose us to litigation and becoming an unexpected participant in someone's litigation. So we don't want the possibility of that possibly happening, and we certainly don't need more litigation to get pulled into. I don't think any city does. So if there are public comments where there are issues that are currently in court and in litigation, I don't think this is the proper venue to vent that type of action here, because we don't want to get involved and enthralled into that action and pulled into something that we don't have necessarily have a dog in the fight with. So I'll leave it there. Folks, I think we're doing good here. We're making good progress. We're going to work through this spring, and we're going to be unrolling and unveiling some exciting opportunities for this city, exciting opportunities for our staff, exciting opportunities for our community, while at the same time being responsible with your tax money. You can say what you want up here. There may have been some disagreements and so on and so forth, but we are managing this money very well, and we're not playing with your tax-paying dollar because we keep bills low. Your utility bills are the lowest in the region. You pay 30% less than your neighbors, not just for electricity, y'all. College Park pays 30% less for its water. If you don't believe me, ask a resident in the city of Atlanta. Ask a resident about their water bills in the city of South Fulton. We manage our monies well, we manage our utilities well, and we want to keep managing things as well as we can. So we're going to continue to make that progress for this city, as well as improve public policy, improve public standards. So we're making progress on all fronts. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. But we're going to keep moving together as a team, and I do believe that teamwork gets it done. And when you see progressive meetings like this, that's part of what you see in terms of teamwork getting it done. And I think we're going to have a great year and a positive year. Working together gets it done. I cannot emphasize that enough. So that's all I got.
Councilmember Arnold?
Thank you. So I am just going to add on to all of the comments that were made before me in reference to our strategic retreat. First, I want to thank all of my colleagues for their support in us getting that retreat on the calendar. If it was not for all of us coming together to come up with the dates that work, we wouldn't have had that retreat. So I want to thank you all for your leadership and support in us getting that scheduled. Then I want to thank Dr. Emmanuel and the staff for then taking our directive and working with the vendors, identifying the location, and getting everything set up. Also with Winston's office, I want to thank his office for finding the incredible facilitator in Ms. Batchelor. She was able to get us to open up and talk about our vision for the city. We came up with a comprehensive list of guiding principles, and we are going to include those principles with our civility pledge and reaffirm ourselves as a city of civility. And that is something to be proud of. And so we all did the work, and I'm very proud of my colleagues for coming together and working together for us to outline a vision for the city. I want to also thank Mr. Bill Crane for helping us to focus on our priorities. And so we have identified 5 projects for this year that we are going to focus on, that we are going to promote, and we are going to push legislation forward to support those projects, along with our vision in the future. The mayor mentioned hers earlier as far as the MOS plan is concerned, and I think we all had our individual list, and I think at some point in time, we should take a picture of those items and share them with the community at large so that our constituents can get to see some of the things, our brainstorming session, if you will, of the items that the thoughts that we have for the city. So I thank you all again for that support and the work. So I was doing my world traveling as usual, but I had the opportunity to participate in a community meeting for the Old National Merchants Association on Thursday, where Councilwoman Keosha Bell of the city of South Fulton shared her vision for Old National Highway. And for those who don't know, Old National Highway starts in College Park and it ends in South Fulton. And so we have to partner with our colleagues in South Fulton to make sure that the services on that highway are comprehensive and connected. And so I was there on Thursday to support her and her vision. And so I don't have too many other updates to give other than wanting to make sure that everyone understands that we will be having that civility pledge expanded a little bit for our meetings, because we want to include our guiding principles. Those are important to us, and they are important for it's important for us to make sure that the community is also aware of those guiding principles on how we're going to move forward. And again, as I've been mentioning in all of my meetings here lately since the beginning of the year, the Ward 3 Community Survey is still open. It will continue to be open until April 4th. In the meantime, I will have my quarterly Ward 3 Town Hall, which will be virtual. And before that time, I will be meeting with my appointees to collect their thoughts and their experiences so that we can share that information in the town hall. And so if you want to participate in the community survey, you can find it at cpward3.com. Thank you so much.
Councilmember Gay?
Okay, thank you. I just got a few things, but some of it's gonna be like the rest of my colleagues, add to some requests. We're doing a streetscapes project. I don't wanna name the street, but we've been working on it for about 3 weeks, and it's amazing. And there's a house next to the end of the streetscape projects. And the woman came out the house today, and she said, "Come here." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "Oh, are you gonna have them put some straw right there by my yard? And I said, sure, why not? I said, what's going on? She says, there are tire tracks right there. So I walked over to her driveway and the tire tracks about like this. And she drove off. And I said, well, you know we got the limb over there. She goes, well, it's not my limb in the first place. But I just want you to just know how thankless of a job this is. A lot of people think that we're getting a lot out of this. It's a very thankless job for some people. And where I feel that is because imagine doing something like that in someone's community and the only value that one person saw was a little tire track on y'all. The next thing, I'm going to see if we can start aggressively looking for a grants administrator because there is money being spent, but we got to replace this money. We got to keep bringing money in. We spend, we got to find more money. And I mean, there are people out here that write grants. We contract them and we're doing national such, but we need to continue to look for grants. Local, state, federal. Dr. City Manager, you taking notes? All right, thank you. All right. I just want to make sure, because most of my comments was our instructions. HR, I think there needs to be first aid kits in these city workers' trucks. I know we got all new vehicles. We still missing logos on trucks. That's not safe. These guys driving to other jurisdictions, or something happened, there's no way to identify these trucks. I don't see numbers on these fleets to be able to track. So I think we need to make sure that our fleet have identifying numbers and that there are first aid kits in these trucks. If someone were to get injured, there's no, I'm aware of urgent care nowhere close by.
Hapeville, it's Concentra.
Virginia Avenue.
It is one on Virginia.
Yeah, there's a Piedmont.
Piedmont.
Okay, well, we need to make sure that that we know that as, or we have to go to the central.
Where's
Concentra's over in Hapeville.
Yeah.
All right. Next is, I am so proud to announce that Phillips Park is getting a playground. And it's the hard work of everybody. But reason why I'm bringing this up is because the equipment has come a month early. That's a good problem, right? However, the park needs to be closed. So, see, man, you got to figure out how to close the park safely. Not the whole park, but the area for the playground. Because it's four Connex containers. And, you know, we need to really roll that out. So I'm excited about that. And what, it'll be a month that'll be down? You think a month? About a month?
We met on it today.
Yeah, but amazing job with city attorney's office, city manager's office, recreation, power, just amazing teamwork. Also, I'm proud to report that State Representative Kim Schofield sponsored the senior tax exemption with no income. Appreciate her leadership, appreciate her making a decision to do what the will of the people has said. Thank you to the mayor who signed the resolution. So it takes leadership on every level. So I'm sure the residents will appreciate it at some point, but there again, we gotta replace this money. So the more we spend, the more we gotta replace. Marshall Mitchell, who used to work for y'all's law firm, used to find us money. He found occupational tax at the airport, not occupational tax, and he found tax on the gas pumps.
Jet farm.
I think you need to tax these tractor trailers for tearing up our streets. Then finally, Mr. Hugh, we need to go back to driving the ward at night. Maybe work with the chief of police, but it's too many lights out, and I can't do it. It's lights out. We need we need to go back to where you had a guy come in and see, that's the last, which will be the botanical garden vote. I mean, listen, that is one of the most amazing things that have happened, you know, in my life. I've had some pretty nice things, but that's a good one. To be able to see something happen that we all collectively worked since 1998. That don't happen often. So I hope the project outlive all of us. Somebody wonder when they over there walking, who did this? Because it's a thankless job, remember? But as the Bible said, let your little light shine. So that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir.
I had one other item.
Councilmember Carn?
City manager, he talked about employee safety with the first aid kits. One thing I do want to see more with employees are gloves. Gloves. Our public works department, you know, there's some hard workers, and I often worry, I want to make sure they have, you know, I don't see gloves on their hands a lot of times when they're doing a lot of work. Over the years, I've talked about that. Hugh Richardson, you know, I've talked about gloves with the power guys, and I see them pulling on them cables and whatnot, and they don't have their gloves on. And I always worry about that because, you know, the minute someone slices their hand open, you know, then you got to work it down that can't get out there and help us and whatnot. But I want to make sure we have that kind of extra coverage just in the vehicles where they're accessible right there. Gloves in every glove box, 2, 3, 4 pair. And we want to make sure we're covering that. Just definitely reminded me about touching on that. So I think that's important.
Okay, since Joe said something, I got one more thing too. I just want to also acknowledge my new legislative assistant, Miss Olivia Dorsey, who sat through this meeting. Just raise your hand. She didn't get a chance to introduce herself. An amazing young woman and one of College Park's own. So welcome, 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 Olivia.
All right, and don't think we have any additional business. So we are adjourned at 9:32 p.m. Take care. For what?
So I'd like to make a
Wait,
motion.
hold on. So we have litigation to discuss. Do we get any information about it? Okay, all right, 'cause I didn't get any information ahead of time. All right, so, all right, is there a motion to, Mr. Curry, are we still on? Okay. Is there a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussion of litigation? So moved. Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second? Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. That is unanimous. We'll adjourn to executive session.